We are good to go when you are. Yep. Well, hey guys, welcome back to, it's going to be a special episode, very special, because we're finally doing a 0 to 60 on the ESS Supercharged E39 M5. And it's going to be a bit of a rush one because hopefully the HTE tune will be going on it any tick of the clock. But we want to go and baseline what the ESS one can do, because we've now got it running properly, it's logging properly. This is what the ESS tune should be. Yeah, and there are quite a lot of these cars in the world. In fact, there's even quite, well, there's a handful in Australia. And it's also quite a big difference over the stock car in terms of, well, max power. Yep. So it'll be interesting to see if that does, what did ESS rate this at? Well, the car, well, let's talk about the base car. These E39s, they're a 400 horsepower and I think about 500 newton meters of peak torque. So pretty spicy engine for back in the early 2000s. Yes. You throw this little ESS kit on and that jumps it up to a 550 horsepower. So that's a big increase. Yeah, it is, and I think huge. 625 newton meters of torque, something like that. So it is a big increase for both power and torque, but that is max output as well, which we know this doesn't do because it's just too hot. Correct, but it is a centrifugal supercharger, so it peaks at 6 psi or 6.5 psi, which you need to be doing 7,200 RPM to reach that peak power. Yeah, that's something that we've learned since we've had this car. We always thought supercharged cars had instant response, but they don't. It's quite the opposite. This doesn't have any extra power until you get to like 4,000 RPM. No, at 3,000 RPM, you might be on 0.5 of psi, which so it's basically a stock car until you're really high in the rev line, into the rev range. What do you reckon it's going to do? So stock, these were 5.3, which isn't nothing compared to today's brand new performance M cars. Actually, and people always question our times. We're going to use a dragy, we're not going to use rollout. There's two of us in the car and we're on a normal road, and you're probably not going to do this 50 times, eh? It's going to be 1 or 2 launches, and that's what we're going to live with. Now, with our E60 M5 that we used to have, that would do 4.7 according to BMW. Officially. The fastest we ever did in that car was 5.1. And we launched it hundreds of times. Quite literally hundreds. Where I'm going with that is, I don't think you're going to be near the factory time. Even though it's got the extra power, you don't reckon it's going to have the extra... I'm thinking it probably won't be any different off the line. Well, actually, so this car does have a few extra goodies. It's also got these... That's going to come into play. Well, for starters, it's got the Supersprint manifold, which does help these engines breathe a little bit better. They're huge. But yeah, but also at the rear end, we do have a proper Quaife limited slip diff. So that might... Well, actually, no, in saying that, the stock M5 diffs, they're still limited slip, and I bet in a dead straight line, they're still going to work pretty similarly. Pretty good. Like, dude, we just got to get in and go do it. Let's do it. Right. I'm keen. I'm excited. Oi, it's proper naughty. Let's go before the neighbours get mad. So, Dave, you've had this car for what, 6 months? Yeah, a little bit longer actually, but I haven't been able to use it very much because there's been a few teething problems. Yes. Would you say you've enjoyed your ownership experience so far? I mean, this has been a dream car. Has the teething problems ruined it? You know, at some points it honestly did, but then once you actually get in this thing and drive it and you can hear it, it is a special vehicle, that's for sure. Having the 6-speed manual and the noise that this thing makes, it is fantastic. So we've also done, I've been in the car, we've done a few launches. I've never done a launch in it, but I know it's got the upgraded clutch. Have you got any sort of plans to try and get a good time this time? Admittedly, I haven't done many practice launches, so I'm really not sure how it goes. And the thing that I really was surprised is even when you're not even being a little bit gentle, as soon as the rear tyres break loose, even with these Federal 595 RSRs, once they break loose, it's just... Well, spinning is not winning. It's like a burnout car. It just loves to spin the tyres. Earlier I was sort of thinking you're probably not gonna get the factory claim times because of the spinning issues, but I reckon if you can manage it. Well, back in 2099 when they did that 5.3, they would have had a brand new M5, brand new clutch, brand new tyres on a perfect prep surface, and I presume they probably would have just dropped the clutch and it would have hooked up. whereas I can't do that on this thing. So it's to get that 5.3 or better, it's going to be a big effort. And something a lot of people don't realize, like Declan's car, which is a DCT with launch control, it's a current model, well, no, it's an M2 with the M55, sorry Declan. But as he's added more power, his 0 to 100's actually started to slow down. He had to change tyres and actually get it to hook a little bit better. So, and I think you're going to have the same problem with this. You've got more power. You've got Federal RS-RRs. Yeah. The thing where it might come into play, especially with the supercharger, because it's not too spiky down low, is if we are gentle off the line, quite gingerly, and then can roll into it, and then from like 60 k's to 100, if the extra power can come in then and sort of make up for its lost time from what a brand new BMW would have done back in the day. Gotcha. Well, guys, I think we're going to head to where we do these timed runs, and we'll see you guys shortly. Once you got traction, it felt quite quick. Yeah. But you didn't get much traction. Well, that was funny. I rolled it off the line, but then it started to break up top. Yeah, unfortunately, 5.7. Damn, that's way off. Let's go again. Give it another shot. Yep. That'll do. Okay, 5.5. Damn. Still wheel spinning. Only a little bit, but I did have to pedal it in first. Well, we're back. 5.5. He's not happy. It feels like it's going to do a 1 second 0 to 100. It definitely makes the right noises. Yeah, all the noises it makes. Yeah, I actually agree with that. It feels like you're low fours, but yeah. It's wheel spinning, and trying to manage the wheel slip it's tough. It's bloody weird because you can't be aggressive off the start, or even in first gear. It will, if you just punch it in first, it will start to spin up the top of first, but then in second, you can just go flat out. Sometimes, apart from a couple of times in second, it spun up in second anyway. Yeah, I think I was probably a bit too aggressive on the shift then. I think I got a bit better towards the end. So there might be room for improvement if you were to start playing with tyre pressures, or even have newer tyres, because these are pretty old and they are pretty bold on the rears as well. I could swap the fronts to the rears, but maybe for another day. I think there's definitely more in it, but for what we want to do in base the ESS car. The ESS. Yeah. We've also got 60 to 120s, which we haven't shown you in this video, but we did film them without the cameras rolling. So we've got 60 to 120 data. That's probably going to be a better representation of whether the HTE tune's much faster. Absolutely, and even in regards to the HTE tune, that will obviously come into play with a 1 to 2 as well. Yes. So if we do have any of that data, we'll put a link down below. I'm hoping that maybe with the updated tune from HTE, they'll be able to play with the Vanos. We'll play with everything actually, literally tweak everything. So maybe I'm hoping once you get into second gear, the extra power might then make up, but it'll be again a balancing act of being gentler off the line again. Yeah, exactly. So I know a lot of people are going to say that's not what this car's for, the launching from the lights, but it's what we do. And yeah, if me and Dave happen to pull up at a set of lights next to each other and we happen to be on a private road, we race. That's what's going to happen. So we do like doing these tests and learning how to do it. Yeah, man, it's such a wild car. I think you drove it pretty well. I don't think there's much more in it. It's just, there's a bit of a knack to it, and I might still get better. Tomorrow is a roll racing. If you guys do want to see more of this car, there's already quite a few videos going through all the little things we've been through, and actually even the repair from when I first got the car, because that's how I was able to acquire it in my price range. It did have a bit of a rear end damage. So check out the playlist as well on our channel, and also plenty more videos to come, like the custom tune, and then lots of others. I do have big plans for this car. So yeah, if you're not subscribed, please subscribe, and as always, thank you very much for watching. We'll catch you on the next one. Peace out.